A lot of students keeps failing this question. And why? Because they don't know the difference between all the type of systems that we have. Now, let's check this. A well-stoppered thermoflask contains some ice cubes. Remember, well-stoppered and is a thermoflask. And before we can actually know which option will be the correct answer, let's check this. Closed system. What is a closed system? We have closed system, open system, and isolated system. A system is an entity that is separated from the rest of the universe by an imaginary boundary. So we have a boundary. So let's say this is a system. We have something inside. Whatever that is happening in is what we mean by system. Then we have boundary. This is boundary. What separated it? Let's say this is the rest of the universe. So this is the universe. Then whatever that is separating it, that's separating the system away from the universe, is what we mean by a boundary. For those people that don't know what we mean by a system, that's why I explained that. In a system, there can be exchange of energy and matter between the boundary and the system. For a closed system, you only close it. So energy can be transferred. In a closed system, energy can be transferred, but you cannot transfer matter. But matter cannot be transferred. Matter cannot. So in a closed system, you can only transfer energy, meaning that in a closed system, you can only transfer energy, but you cannot transfer matter. Let's take, for example, you have a bottle water. That bottle water is, you covered it, right? It's well stopped. But let's say you put hot water in that plastic bottle, it's a plastic bottle. So you put hot water there and you close it. Does that mean that the water will not get cold? Definitely it will get cold, but the amount that you put in the bottle will not change. The volume of water that you put inside will not change, but the water will get cold. That's just it. So you only exchange the energy inside that system, but you do not exchange the matter, meaning you do not exchange the volume. There is no increase or decrease in that volume. Now for open system is just like let's say evaporation. So where you just put water or anything in open space, is not covered. So that means energy and matter is transferred. So energy and matter is transferred in open system. Everything is open. You can exchange the energy, then the matter can get evaporated. It can absorb water from the environment. Anything at all. That's for open system. Then for isolated system, when we said isolate, you quarantine it. So that means nothing can be exchanged. You put it in a safe place, not to get interacted with whatever outside, and whatever is outside cannot also interact with what is inside. So neither energy nor matter is transferred. So nothing is transferred in isolated, but open, the two entities that we have can be transferred. Then in closed system, you can only transfer the energy, but you cannot transfer the matter. So now, let's go back to the question. They said a well-stoppered thermoflask. When they say something is thermoflask, that means it is temperature regulated. It cannot exchange energy. Energy is in form of temperature. So you cannot exchange your energy. The ice cube will be there. There won't be any exchange of energy, and there won't be any exchange of your matter to the environment, which means that the correct answer for this question is an isolated system. So when you put ice cube in a thermoflask, the answer is isolated system. See you in the next video.